Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Nique Tan Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nique Tan, and on today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Alex Ng's Totem, put out with Harrius Presents. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, before anything else, there's a quick shout out to all my subscribers out there. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel as well. You know that your support really means a lot to me, and it really helps, motivate me and encourage me in continuing to do these videos for you guys. And of course, again, to those of you out there who are not yet subscribers, alright, or if you're new to the channel, or you've watched my videos before, and if you enjoy the videos, alright, most importantly, if you enjoy watching my videos, please hit the subscribe button right now. Right, it'll only take you a second, I promise you. Okay, so just go ahead, hit the subscribe button, like this video, hit the bell notification button as well, so that you'll be notified every single time I upload a new video on YouTube. So today we'll be talking about Totem, alright, by Alex Ng. Currently at this point, I think this is a new release, alright. It is a new release, but it is not new. In fact, a couple of us have had this for about 10 months or so, alright, through, shall we say, a private sale. And so I have been playing around with it ever since then. I mean, right at the start, when I first bought this, I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what I was buying. I bought it just to support Henry. Now, I can kind of understand why there was like a delay in the official release of this product, because when I first got the package, when I opened it up, when I first saw what it was, how it worked, the concept behind it, I kind of knew that there might be some issues with, permission and things like that. But Henry has sorted all of those issues out. He has gotten permission from Colin MacLeod, all right, to go ahead with this, and so here we are. So if you have been involved with Magic for any number of years at this point in time, you will know the name Harrius, alright? Because, first of all, FISM winner in 2015, and ever since then, he has been releasing incredible material with Rubik's Cubes. So I think he has really made a big name for himself in the Rubik's Cube Magic arena, and he has released some really incredible Rubik's Cube related material. Now, I've not met Henry, alright? I've not met him before, but during this whole pandemic episode, I've had the privilege of getting to know him online. I think he's extremely talented, extremely creative as well. And during our interactions, he has been very kind to me, very generous with his ideas. He has shared some unpublished material with me as well. And in recent times, he has also gone into releasing material which is not Rubik's Cube related, right? So for example, this other item that I've had a lot of fun with casually is a Magnet Zero, alright? So if you're interested in like PK effects, do check this one out as well. Alright, and for Alex Ng, I've never met Alex before, I've not corresponded with him before, I've never spoken to him, but from what I gather, I think he's quite a big name in the Hong Kong magic scene, and he has helped a lot of magicians over there with their magic, including Harrius. So what is the effect for Totem? So basically, you present this gold foil object, alright, to a spectator, alright. So for all intents and purposes, this looks exactly like a chocolate coin that you would find. So you hand this to the spectator, they hang on to it, and at this point in time, you ask them some quick fire questions, alright, which they are supposed to answer kind of instinctively. Okay, so they will name you a color, a number, the suit of a playing card, and then you go on a kind of imaginary journey with them. They name a place in the world, they name a flower, and also a famous painting. Now, during the course of this whole process, you might be playing a game of which hand with this object, okay, with the gold coin. You're obviously able to accurately tell them where the coin is. So that phase may or may not happen, alright, but I've mentioned Colin MacLeod, and this is which hand, so if you know what I'm talking about, the concept that I'm talking about, it uses that concept. So at the end of this whole process, you then reveal to the spectator that this isn't a chocolate coin. They will see that it is a poker chip. And they will see that all of their random thoughts have been accurately predicted on the poker chip itself. Alright, so on this side, when you first open it up and show them, they will see Paris, a bunch of roses. There's a number 3 over there that can be used. And then when you dump out the chip into their hands, on the other side, they will see the Mona Lisa as well. And also, in the foil itself, I'm not sure if this will show up on camera, there's also the name of a playing card. All right, in this case, I'm using the 7 of hearts. So you make all those reveals, all right, one after the other, to bring the routine to a conclusion. So the witch hand effect, all right, the coin in hand effect, you know, I think it is safe to say that most of us, myself included, okay, I'll be the first to admit it to you, most of us wish to perform that effect because of Darren Brown. All right, Darren Brown, who has included this effect, you know, on his TV specials and has performed it in his live stage shows as well. And to me personally, this effect really belongs to Darren Brown. So over the years, you know, I have spent a lot of money on products just to try and accomplish this effect. There was the Laser 2020, I think it was called, back in 2005. I got that one, used it once, never used it again. And then in 2009, I picked up the Relic from Outlaw Effects. That one worked really well, but I could not pull off a convincing presentation enough to continue using it. Along the way, there were some propless methods as well that I played around with. And then in 2013, I picked up Sixth Sense by Hugo Shelley, and that one I got a lot of use out of. So personally for me, you know, I do perform the witch hand effect on stage in my stage show. It's not a regular effect that I perform, but it is an effect that I enjoy performing for the right audience. I found that for me, it only tends to play well for a particular type of audience. And you know, for the longest time, it was so difficult to break out of that habit of performing this effect like Darren Brown. And I think most of us, right? Probably not all, but most of us would have committed the crime of copying him and, you know, performing it exactly like how he does it, because, you know, he has given us such a strong performance of this effect that many of us fail to see that, you know, it can be performed any other way. You know, we'll do the phases exactly like how he does and, you know, use his lines, you know, place the coin in the hand that feels right, leaving the one that's left empty. You know, those kinds of things. I'm sure you guys have said those lines before. So it was really difficult to break out of that Darren Brownie mold, right, in performing this kind of effect. But with the influence of performers such as Colin McLeod, who showed us that there are other ways to use this concept, and then I also started to apply it to other things in my own show. So what do you get when you purchase Totem, alright? It will come in this box, alright? And inside this box, in the lid, alright, there'll be the link to the instructional video just inside here. On the video, it runs for just under an hour, I think, you know, and on the video, you will see Henry Harrius and Alex Ng as well, you know, chatting about the product. There will also be some couple of live performance clips by Alex Ng, an in-studio performance with Henry Harrius, and then Alex and Henry will both take you through the effect itself, how to handle the prop, how to set it up, how to perform the routine, and also talk about how best to do the revelations, alright, which I think is a really important part of this effect. As for the actual physical props itself that you'll receive the totem itself, okay, inside this plastic kind of a case. You will receive as well inside the box, what I understand is 100 sheets of this gold foil. I've used I don't know, 5 or 6 of these at this point in time. And then as for the other object that I cannot show you, it is the gimmick that will allow you to perform the witch hand portion of the effect. So the poker chip itself, okay, comes in this case, okay, which I am having trouble opening at this point in time. Oh, please open. Okay. Alright, so it comes in this plastic case, okay, it's a poker chip, alright, it feels exactly like how a poker chip should feel. On one side you will see the Mona Lisa, and on the other side you will see Paris, the Eiffel Tower, and a whole bunch of roses as well. The poker chip is also blue, okay, which may or may not be important during the course of the routine. And as for the setup, you know, just wrap this inside one of the gold foils. Prepare the gold foil with whatever information you wish to have. Wrap it up, and then you can keep it with you and you're good to go. So you know, there are two main parts to this effect. One, it is the witch hand portion of the effect, and then the second portion deals with the psychological forces. So let's talk a little bit about the witch hand portion first. As I mentioned earlier, I couldn't show you that the object, okay, that comes along with the totem, all right, to help you accomplish that part of the effect. However, I can tell you that it is not an electronic device. It is very easy to use, but you do need to practice with it to get comfortable with handling it, and also the actual using of it to kind of work out where the totem is. Because it can be quite subtle, okay, but with some practice, and once you know what to the type of information, okay, to receive from it, then it will become quite natural and quite easy after a while. I had to make a bit of a modification to the item because, you know, I don't know, with age, my hands have started to get a little bit dry, so it's a bit hard to use for me, but with that little modification, it became alright. Okay, it's not a problem for me to use anymore. That said, you can also use other devices with the totem, which of course will give you better range. But the method that has been provided for you is a very simple way of achieving pretty much exactly the same thing, all right? It's just that the range is not as great as those, you know, expensive electronic devices. Okay, and it really is easy to use, all right? In fact, for the entire time that I've been talking to you, I've had it in my right hand. Okay, so it's really easy to use. You can still be quite natural with it, and it will perform the effect pretty well. That said, all right, because of the nature of the object that is used, okay, the poker chip, if you wish to, you can also use the method taught by Timon Kraus. I had the opportunity to learn it from him when he came to Singapore to give a lecture. And this is a quick photograph of him making me feel like an absolute dwarf. So that's the witch hand portion of the effect, right? The physical portion of the method. The other part of the method comes in the form of the psychological forces. You are already guaranteed 3 reveals with the chip. As for the other little bits of items, you know, they may or may not hit, okay? But that also means you may or may not have to reveal those things, okay? Because again, you can just throw those things out during the routine. If you get hits, perfect. If you don't, again, you have 3 solid ones already with the poker chip. Now, some people may feel that the reveal at the end with the foil, some people may feel that that is actually the strongest reveal. You can kind of guarantee that as well, depending on how, you know, involved you wish to do the routine, right? Do you wish to use a real deck of cards? You know, I mean, it's up to you to kind of customize the final reveal if you feel that this is actually the strongest one. So there is also a script that you kind of need to memorize to perform the routine, okay? Now, I cannot talk about the script much because that actually forms part of the method in getting these items to be the ones that are selected during the routine, okay? So it is not complicated, okay? It's not complicated. It is something that's quite logical because, I mean, you know in your mind what the poker chip looks like. Because you know what it looks like, that already kind of guides you along the way to kind of ensuring this outcome. It's hard to explain, but if you understand the nature of psychological forces and the use of Colin MacLeod's ingenious concept, then I think you will know what I'm talking about. Also, I like it that it is actually a physical kind of a prediction, you know. I have used Colin's effect with a written prediction, all right? In fact, the one that I was performing with said Tom Cruise, coffee, and Japan. Just 3 words on the paper. But this is actually, you know, a physical object. And I think it's an interesting way of revealing those bits of information that you have kind of ensured. Also, I think it is great because there is a kind of a climax to the witch hand effect, okay? Because we are all lacking a kind of a finale for this effect, right? Because it's going to be just you guess right once, and then, you know, you guess right twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then that's it, right? There's nowhere to go from there. There's no like clear-cut ending to the routine. Whereas for this, you have a finale, a closing, you know, some reveals at the end to bring the routine to a closure of sorts, okay? So I like that a lot about this particular prop. As for the foil paper, you get 100 sheets, okay? I've torn some already, but I've realized that you can get a good 3 or 4 uses out of one. After you've set one up, you perform it once, you can use it again. So if you're going to be using this for, I don't know, walk around maybe, walk around performances, you can use one sheet or at least 3 to 4 groups. But if you're careful, you can get good, maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 groups out of just one sheet before you need to switch out a new one. Alright, so that's all I have to say about Alex Ng's totem. Okay, I quite like it. Okay, I think I will really enjoy bringing this around and for those casual performances. So if you do enjoy witch hand effects and if you enjoy trying out these psychological forces, I think this is great because it gives you a framework, okay, with which to try out this psychological forcing. And if all else fails, you still have those 3 solid reveals to fall back on the poker chip, okay, to bring the routine to a successful close. So as always guys, thank you for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And if you're interested to pick up Totem, I will leave the link in the description box down below. Till next time, again, as always, stay safe, take care of yourselves, perform your magic anytime you can, give joy to the world with it. And I will see you again on a future episode of Nique Tan Chats.